These are my test 2 corrections. For the no calculator part, the first question I got wrong is number 5. The question is, a triangle has the following vertices 1, -7, 9, 5, and -11, 1. Is this a right triangle? How do you know? So first you need to find slopes with the points you're given. And the formula you use is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. First I use the first 2 points to do 5 minus -7 over 9 minus 1, which is equal to 5 plus 7 over 9 minus 1, to get 12 over 8, which is equal to 3 over 2. Then I used the first point and the last point, and got 1 minus -7 or 1 plus 7 over -11 minus 1 to get 8 over -12, which is equal to -2 over 3. The slopes you have then are 3 over 2 and -2 over 3, which are like opposites or reciprocals. And these slopes are perpendicular, which means that they meet at a 90-degree angle, making this a right triangle. So yes, it is a right triangle. The next question I got wrong is number 10b, and the question of 10 is if, and so the question of 10 includes a and b, but the part that pertains to this question is the function of gx is equal to x squared minus x. Find for b function of g -3. So gx is equal to x squared minus x. So you put in 3, so that's equal to -3 squared minus -3, which is equal to plus 3. So you have 9 plus 3, which is equal to 12. So your answer to question 10b is 12. The next question I got wrong is number 11. And the question is, the perpendicular bisector of the segment goes through midpoint, which you have to find, with endpoints -3, 5, and 7, 1. So first you want to find the distance between x1 and x2, which is -3 and 7, so like 3 to 0 and then 7 more, so it's 10. Then you divide 10 by 2 to get 5. Then you repeat both of those steps with y, and you have y is 5 to 1, so that's like doing 5 minus 1, which is equal to 4. 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2, so your midpoint would be 5, 2. So the midpoint of -3, 5, or segment -3, 5, and 7, 1 is 5, 2. Now to the calculator part of the test that I got wrong. Question 4, you have to use stat calc to find the equation of the line of regression, and that is for this graph on the test. So when I was doing the test, I didn't know how to find the line of regression, like to plug in the equations, and so that is why I got my this question wrong. So here you have r, and that's what r is equal to, but they want for the line of regression, but they want you to put it into thousandths, or to round to the thousandths. So you have y is equal to 0.997. The next question I got wrong is number 7, and it's use your line of regression to estimate the number of rentals when the temperature is equal to 80. Show and or explain. And I went along the line of regression until I got to 80 degrees to get, and at that I got about 18 rentals. So I would say about 18 rentals, because when you follow the trend line or line of regression, and you get to when x, or the temperature, is equal to about 80 degrees, y is equal to 17.74, so then you round up to 18 rentals in 80-degree weather. The last question that I got wrong on this test is question number 8, and the question is, use your line of regression to estimate the temperature when the number of rentals is 25. Show and or explain. And once again, I followed the trend line, but this time I had to find the number of rentals instead of the temperature first. So when I got to about 25 rentals, I found that the temperature would be about 85 degrees. So I would say about 85 degrees because when following the trend line or line of regression at 20, I stopped at 24.8, and it was at about 84.8 degrees, and at 25.4 rentals, and then it's about like 85.4 or 5. So in between the two, you get about 25 rentals and 85. So at 25 rentals, the temperature will be about 85 degrees. And those are my test 2 corrections.